Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 5 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 5-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
On the Bobcat Sports Network from Learfield, this is Cat Chat with head football coach Brent Vigen. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official home of Cat Chat, every Wednesday night at 6:30. Now, here's your host, the voice of the Bobcats, Keaton Galogly.
Hello, 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 and welcome live to Cat Chat. We are live at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm Keaton Galogly alongside head coach Brent Vigen as we get set here for Week 8. First of all, everybody can hear us okay? All sounding good? All right, that's what we like to see, and that's what we like to hear. All right, we're with head coach Brent Vigen. Coach, how we doing? How we feeling?
Doing well, yeah. Big week for us, and we're hump day here, ready to have another day of practice tomorrow and get on that plane come Friday.
Yeah, old hump day. I don't know. Does it feel like you got to get over the hump each week for you?
I think getting here is kind of getting over the hump.
Yeah, Cat Chat is the time you get to relax. All the prep is in.
Yep.
Not a ton more you can do now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's almost crossover season, so it's almost time where every day feels like hump day, as in it's all Wednesday after Wednesdays, as far away from your last off day as you are to your next.
Right, exactly.
All right, well, we got a great show for you planned today. We're going to talk with one of your new cornerbacks, John Johnson. So we'll be talking with John Johnson a little bit later, and we'll be joined by Texas running back Jared White as well. So talking to Johnson and White a little bit later in the show today. All right, Coach. Well, let's dive right into things. Coming off a 59-19 win against Cal Poly, another tremendous crowd, the third largest crowd in program history, and two of them, two of the top three, have been this year already. So another great crowd, but overall, another strong game. 335 yards of rushing, and a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but certainly a fun show on Saturday.
Yeah, I've said it a few times. I think you come off the bye, you're excited to be back out there. You have this vision of what it should look like, and it rarely looks like exactly how you think it will. But you unwind it. I think we did a lot of good things on offense. We were, again, very explosive. In addition to that 300-plus yards rushing, we threw for over 200 yards. Got the ball downfield, in particular to Ty McCullough. And then, defensively, I really think we suffocated them for the most part. They got the short field off the punt muff. But otherwise, defensively, I thought we really did a good job. We tackled well, got after their quarterback, and ultimately got a lot of guys in there at the end. And special teams, we saw the big plays, the punt return, the punt block. We blocked an extra point. But on the flip side, we had trouble handling punts at times, and we had a turnover on the special teams. That's something you never want. But get those things shored up. It was good to get back out there again after the bye week, and thought the guys really played hard. And that's the bottom line. We got to go out there and play hard. Things are going to fall our way in some instances, and at times they're not. And we just got to keep moving forward.
Let's get into that punt muff, the turnover on that. It was one of those situations where it bounced off the leg of one of the Bobcats. And what is supposed to happen there? What's the communication supposed to be, and how do you avoid that? Just the X's and O's and just the basics of that type of punt return.
Well, first, Ty was deep. He might have been 10 yards deeper than we really wanted. Our young coaches go out there and they watch every punt. The opposing punter punts before the game, and they kind of narrow in on, hey, this is going this direction where we should be, and if it's going the other direction. And they had a couple guys that had punted, so we were pretty dialed in. We wanted him at 42 yards. It just so happened he wasn't at 42 yards. We need to make sure he is. That ball landed and hit Devin Davis right at 42 yards. So if he's where he's supposed to be, he would have fair caught that ball. I think Devin would have been able to be communicated with sooner. It was just a bad sequence of events, and it certainly wasn't Devin's fault whatsoever. And even so, I think Ty probably still could have run up and caught that ball, fair caught that ball. It wasn't like he was going too far side to side. So, we got to handle those punts, either those swings in field position, and obviously the turnover is just something we can't have in the special teams game.
Right, it turned into 6 points, not 7, because Rylan Ort got in and blocked that point after. So that's 3 blocked kicks for you guys now this season. By the way, the nation's leader is New Hampshire. They have 8 blocked kicks already this season. Yeah, but number 3 block kicks, that's top 10 in the nation. So overall, when you look at the special teams unit, especially compared to last year, overall the changeover, how far along are you guys this season?
Yeah, I think 6 games in, we're way ahead on the coverage side. We've hardly had to cover any kicks, but when we have, it's looked really good, except for maybe one, and that was later in the game against Stetson. When we've punted the ball, we've covered. Again, we haven't had to punt a whole lot, but when we've punted, we've covered real well. Like that game, we we have a net of 49 yards per punt. I know Brendan boomed a couple, but we were down there covering on a couple of the ones that were just past 40 yards. So we're covering really well. Getting that return for a touchdown was big. We haven't maybe had that breakthrough on the kick return side. We haven't had a ton of opportunities there. In that game, we get one out to the 45 that they kick short to Derek Snell. They kick one, technically out of bounds that we get at the 35. Marquis, if he handles that one later in the game, running up there, that could have been a big one. But it's about to happen, we feel like. And, I think we've had we've had an edge, or at least we've nullified that special team side in each and every game this year, and we need to find an edge, but we certainly can't have a deficit.
Yeah, you mentioned that out-of-bounds play, that first kickoff with Marquis Johnson kind of laying on the sideline, reaching out, grabbing the football to force that out of bounds. I talked to Coach Udy, the special teams coordinator, and he said, you guys have only covered that once in fall camp, and that was it, and he still had the wherewithal to be able to do that. That's some impressive football IQ in that moment.
Yeah, part of fall camp is going through a whole bunch of different scenarios. And I know that same play that we showed this fall camp, we showed last fall camp. So, maybe Marquis seen it a couple times and just been waiting for that moment. But and it's a headsy play. If the ball carrier is out of bounds and he touches the ball, it's out of bounds. And that's why anytime those kickoffs flirt with the sidelines, it's not a good thing for the kickoff team. And Marquis made him pay for that.
All right, let's talk a little bit of offense here. Sean Chambers in this game, 3 more rushing touchdowns. So Sean Chambers now has 11 rushing touchdowns this year. He has 30 in his Bobcat career, and he has 45 in his career between Wyoming and Montana State, which is pretty wild. I think the highlight of those 3, at least personally, would have been that third one when Justice Perkins came in from behind him, kind of caught him underneath the breastplate, and just brought him right into the end zone. Is that the type of film where you show that to the room and it just like everybody blows up because it's so much fun to watch?
Yeah, I would guess they were really excited, the O-line in particular. It was one of those things. We had just come off of the roughing the kicker on the field goal opportunity, but what preceded that is we didn't score a touchdown. So I would imagine our guys got back out there with that second chance opportunity to punch one in, and they wanted to make the best of it. And the result was, this combination of Sean running hard, but our guys continuing to play. I think that's the biggest thing with a play like that is our guys up front are really they're relentless, and that was a different form maybe of relentless with Justice dragging them in, but our guys, our O-linemen want to finish in the blue in the home games, and if they do that, the ball's probably in there, and we probably have a touchdown.
Yeah, we really haven't talked about Justice Perkins much this season. Obviously, the O-line's been great. The rushing numbers have been tremendous, but it's almost probably easy to kind of take him for granted to have a center like that who's going out and setting the tone. RJ on the radio broadcast after that play was like, that's just a guy making a decision that we're going to be more physical than you. What's it been like watching Justice Perkins be a leader this year in particular as he continues to grow?
Yeah, we're at 30-plus starts for him. I think that's the first thing you look at, how dependable he's been, how durable he's been. And, that is not an easy position to play when you talk about the mental side of things as much as anything. He's really the one that's driving the ship as far as our O-line go, making the calls, identifying the fronts, those type of things. Snapping the ball back there with relative ease, and I should knock on wood with that. But he's done a great job in all facets. We try to highlight what he does best, and he's not a huge center by any means, but he's a really good athlete for that position. And as long as he's playing hard, which he does, he plays hard each time out there. That sets the tone for that offensive line.
Well, we don't have a ton of stats for offensive linemen, but we can look at some of the rushing numbers. The Bobcats are sitting just shy of 2,000 rushing yards this year, which is first in the nation. And Montana State, Montana State is leading the nation at 7.9 yards per carry, almost 8 yards per carry this year, which would be basically a yard and a half more per carry for the best yards per carry rate in program history. Last year, it was 6.5, so that's the program record, 6.5 yards per carry. Y'all are up at about 8, which is pretty special. That's pretty electric to have 8 yards per carry.
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of things. I know we've been able to have some big runs, and that's come in a lot of different forms, a lot of different guys carrying the ball. But the line should get to credit certainly. But I shout out to our 2s and 3s who have gone in there in several games now and up the ante. our twos in that last game between Adam Jones's run, I know Colson Kuhn had a long run in there, and then Jordan Reed finished out. That was about 100 yards just in those three runs. So, and that's been the deal. So those backup linemen that are in there, creating those holes, are getting valuable experience and doing their job, and they're getting an opportunity to be on that field.
Anybody in particular in the twos that's really stood out, that's really trying to push the envelope here? I mean, it's nice not to have to talk about it because, knock on wood, guys have been healthy. But, you guys work them hard in practice. So who's been standing out in that two line?
Well, you start with like Jacob Kettles. Jacob played a ton of football for us last year. He's on the outside looking in, but he's going out there and has been ready to go each and every week. I know we got a couple young guards that are freshmen, redshirt freshmen from Montana, Tommy Nilsson from Missoula, and Burke Mastel from Red Lodge. And the center rolling out there with that group is Holden Sampson from Helena. Those three on the interior, along with Jacob, have been steady. And now with Titan Fleischman being out, we had a true freshman, Cedric Jefferson from Southern California, that was out there. So, give a shout out to that whole group. When they've gotten their opportunity, they've proven they belong. And we'll see how this season continues to unfold. Because if we need to make the call, one of those guys have to step in and do the job.
Well, nice to be able to talk about them because they're performing well at the end of games, not because they need to fill a role. So that's good to see. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we get back, we'll continue to break down this win against Cal Poly as the Bobcats extend their home winning streak to a nation-best 24 consecutive wins at Bobcat Stadium. Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Go Cats. All right, we're taking a break. More of Cat Chat coming up after this. Cat Chat is presented by Learfield.
Guys, it's buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings, and guess what?
You're gonna be a dad.
What? No, it's Boneless Thursdays, which means free boneless wings.
You'd be a great dad.
Okay, enough.
Buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday only at Buffalo Wild Wings. To the greatest of all times. Buy one boneless wings at regular price. Get one of equal value free at participating locations for a limited time. While supplies last. Limit one, not valid with other offers. Size exclusions may apply. Delivery and takeout available at participating locations through Buffalo Wild Wing website or app. Fees, including service fees, may apply.
No matter how far you may go, there's always one just down the road. Town Pump, who pump it up, pump it up.
Town of Pump is excited to once again sponsor the Brawl of the Wild Rivalry Series between Montana State and the University of Montana. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions throughout the year at your local Town Pump.
Town Pump, right down the road, pump it up, oh yeah.
I wanted to put up a fence to protect my tomato plants. So I grabbed this, and then I did this. But instead of yielding a big crop, I hit a utility line and had to pay $1,200 in repairs. I didn't just lose my pride and joy, I could no longer afford the new stovetop I'd been saving up for. Next time, I'm going to make my free call to 811 before I dig.
Learn from Curry and hundreds of others. Call 811 before you dig.
Brought to you by Montana811.org.
Bobcat fans, Lithia Dodge of Billings, Montana's #1 new car dealer and proud partner of Montana State Bobcats, has the new truck you've been looking for, in stock now and ready for immediate delivery. Come test drive a new 2023 Ram 1500 during Power Days at Lithia Dodge in Billings. See why we're Montana's #1 new car dealer. Based on 2020 and 2021 and 2022 new vehicle registration data.
At Levitt Group Insurance, we believe that hard work, dedication, and teamwork are the keys to success. Levitt Group Insurance is proud to present the weekly Bobcat Impact Player of the Game. Each week, a player will be selected because they've proven that they have what it takes to be a game changer. Levitt Group Insurance will always work hard and change your insurance program to fit your needs to be a game changer for your business. To see how we can help you with your business, employee benefits, home and auto insurance, contact a Levitt Group Insurance office near you. Levitt Group Insurance, leaving nothing you value to chance. For every adventure and every mishap, Bozeman Health provides expert, personalized care to each person, going well beyond traditional health care. We're your partner in health and well-being, working together for your day-to-day and the decades to come. With care sites in Belgrade, Big Sky, and Bozeman, and with the only hospitals in the Gallatin Valley, Bozeman Health keeps your care close to home. Find a Bozeman Health provider today at bozemanhealth.org.
We are back at Buffalo Wild Wings for Cat Chat. It's almost Catterday, Bobcats, and it's time to gear up for another season of football. And if you bleed blue and gold, then get game day ready with MSU Bookstore, the only non-for-profit university bookstore cooperative that has the largest selection of Bobcat gear around. Shop with us on campus at Bobcat Stadium on game day and 24/7 at msubookstore.org. I'm Keaton Galogly, joined by head coach Brent Vigen. We're getting ready in Week 8. Cats coming off a win against Cal Poly, and it's Sac State up next this weekend for the late kickoff. We're going to be on the air at 7:30 p.m. for the 8:30 Mountain Time kickoff over at Sacramento. Matchup of really the top two teams over the last 2.5 years in the Big Sky. Both Montana State and Sac State are a combined 18-1 in the Big Sky, going back since really the pandemic, since the start of the 2021 season. But Coach, excited to see what you guys can do offensively, both with Chambers and Malott kind of ready to go. The running back room has continued to evolve. I know one of the guys you mentioned last week about wanting to get the ball into his hands was Marquis Johnson. Saw it once or twice in this game, but how are you guys trying to get Marquis Johnson into that open field and showcase that explosiveness we know he has?
Well, we've tried to do it through the read game, coming from the receiver position. He's touched the ball a few times that way. I think for us to have him touch the ball, we probably need to put him back at running back a little bit more. I think as the season finished up last year, we did that from time to time, and that was a good thing for us. And running back wise, right now, we're without a few guys, so to inject him into that room, I think that makes sense for us at this point. And it doesn't mean he's going to carry the ball 20 times, but just to see him back there, I think that would bode well for the Bobcats.
Yeah, kind of take the choice out. Just get him the football and let him go to work.
Yeah, it's just not happening enough through the kick game, and he missed his best opportunity the other night, and he felt bad about that. I know he wants to do whatever he can for the team, but ultimately, we got to continue to be creative and find ways for him to touch it.
This week also, Tommy Malott was back. A welcome sight to see that white number 4 in blue. Great to see him go to work. Went 7 for 9 through the air in this game. Didn't have to run the ball a ton. 3 carries, 31 yards. So he is 60 yards away from reaching 2,000 career rushing yards at Montana State. I'm not going to ask you how you're going to use the two guys because that's a little too X's and O's. But how do you kind of, first of all, let's just evaluate. How did he look? How did you like what he was able to do in this game against Cal Poly?
I thought he looked real good. I think we felt comfortable with him doing a wide array of the skills that he brings to the table. We didn't want to have him run a whole lot, but there was a couple times just, as the protection or the routes were covered or whatever, he scrambled in that 2-minute drill in particular, so he did get a couple carries there. But thought he functioned really well, and I thought when he got out and ran, in particular one of those scrambles, I think his speed showed up, and again, something that we weren't concerned about. But until he gets out there and plays, you don't see it in that live type of action. Thought he operated that 2-minute drill very effectively, and there was a wide variety of plays in there, and then that was capped off by the great throw and then the great catch by Jared to finish off that drive. So, really pleased with how we were able to let's say integrate him back. And we got to really strike a balance with those two. They're both doing a lot of they're both capable of doing a lot of great things, and both have done a lot of great things for us. And what that looks like on each particular Saturday will probably be a little bit different. What do we need to do against that team? How can we, utilize them? What are the stresses that having those guys out there will create, and then who else needs to touch the ball, quite frankly, on offense. We're not as stressed maybe as we were in that regard as we were last year.
Right. A continuation of the conversation we had for the TV show, which you could watch next up on Friday at 7:30 p.m., the Bobcat Insider TV show on MTN. But we kind of talked about, those two guys getting into a rhythm and getting into a flow of the game, because it is so much of that. What are some of the things that you look for in particular from those two guys when you can see, okay, this is a guy who's in the rhythm of the game, or, hey, this guy could use a few more snaps, and that will get him into the flow? So, what are some of the things you're looking for out of those guys?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's maybe just a look in their eye, as simple as that. It certainly can be their level of execution. I know what we don't want to do is get into this world where one guy goes out there for first and second down, and then we're trying to throw somebody out there for third and long. They are both capable of playing on all downs. So we got to create some guidelines as far as going in with a game plan to say this is how we're going to utilize them situationally. This is the relative playlist that each guy is going to run maybe individually. Here's all the overlap that we have, and let it unfold. I said it the other day to you. I mean, there's part science in the planning to this, but there's so much feel and art to it that, and I think they're both capable of doing the things we ask and on board for what's in front of us. It's just great that they're both healthy at this point, 6 games in.
Yeah, and Sean Chambers was telling the media this week, he's as healthy as he's ever been for Week 8. This is a man who's carried the ball 8 times in the last 2 games over 3 weeks, but he also has 4 touchdowns in those 8 carries. What have you seen in his decision-making, and why have we only seen 8 carries versus, the 10 or 20 that we're used to seeing?
Well, I think that's been intentional. We've spoke to it. I think our running back room, those guys are worthy of those carries. And I think we look back at that second game against South Dakota State, and we ran those guys too much in that particular game. But we were still trying to find ourselves a little bit, in that backfield to see, who could we lean on? How's that rotation going to work? So you continue to find yourself as an offense. What suits you best, what makes it most difficult for the defense to have to defend, and hopefully each week a defense is looking at, just trying to guess what in the heck is Montana State going to do. And I think for us, we got to keep it as simple and compact for the offensive line as possible, as far as what we're asking them to do, but then make it look like we're doing all kinds of things from the outside world.
All right. So one of those running backs is Jared White. We're going to be talking to him in just a moment, and later we're talking with one of your cover corners, John Johnson. All right, we're taking a break from Buffalo Wild Wings. You're listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Bridger Brewing is home to award-winning locally crafted beer and pizza and is proud to support all things Bobcat sports. Open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, last beer served at 8 p.m., and located right across from the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse. Stop by after the game today to enjoy a cold pint of beer and a slice of made-from-scratch delicious pizza. Dine-in service and online ordering for takeout are both available. Check out BridgerBrewing.com and at Bridger Brewing on Instagram and Facebook, and stay tuned for updates on our newest adventure in Three Forks, Montana.
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
Montana holds some of the greatest hunting in the country, and much of that occurs on private land. Access to private land is a key part of hunting and wildlife management, but that access is at risk with every gate left open, piece of litter left behind, or torn up ag field from someone driving where they weren't allowed. As hunters and guests in Montana, we must do better. Get familiar with Montana's block management program and follow the rules for every block management area you hunt, because we either do better or we'll lose access. It's that simple. It's up to us. Respect access, protect the hunt.
From our 1946 roots providing lumber for Yellowstone National Park to our current headquarters in Bozeman, we at Simpkins-Howland believe in building the Gallatin Valley's future while continuing to honor its past. Contractors large and small benefit from our decades of experience and our extensive network of suppliers. We can source the materials you need, no matter the project. For all your building needs, go to where long-standing traditions have met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins-Howland, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946.
Did you know that Southwest Montana has one of the highest per capita hot tub usage rates in the world? See what your friends and neighbors already know. How great it feels to soak under the big sky. Mountain Hot Tub has helped more friends and families relax in hot water than anyone in Montana. New hot tubs starting at less than $5,000. When you're ready to relieve stress and save money at the same time, come see us at the corner of Huffine and Gooch Hill. Mountain Hot Tub since 1979.
Back on Cat Chat. I'm Keaton Glogly along with Jared White. And before we chat with Jared White, let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Cat Chat. We are back live at Buffalo Wild Wings for Cat Chat. You can enjoy Cat Chat, the official radio show of head coach Brent Vigen and Bobcat Athletics, over wings and beer every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. only at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm Keaton Glogly, and we are now joined by one of your running backs in the great stable of running backs here at Montana State, number 3, Jared White. Jared, how we doing? How we feeling?
Feeling great.
Hey, I'll help you push that mic up just a little bit right there. Yep, there you go, right in front of your mouth. All right. Well, first of all, how we doing? How we feeling? We're into week 8. How's it going?
Feeling great. Just ready to get out and play for another week.
Yes, back out and heading out to Sacramento. So should be some good weather out there against the Hornets, but coming off an opportunity where you got a bunch of carries this week in front of the third largest crowd in program history. How was the Cal Poly game from your perspective?
It was pretty good. Would like to play a little bit better, though, but great atmosphere, great game. Just love it.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's so loud.
Yep.
God, what is it like for you? Now, you're a guy who's had a couple of big runs.
Yeah.
I think we got you at 3 50-plus touchdown runs already. Can you hear the crowd, build while you're in those runs?
Not really.
Okay.
Kind of zone out a little bit and just run, trying to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
Just focus on that.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit on your focus on in terms of your vision, right? Once you've hit the hole, once you're into that second and third level, what's the key to pushing maybe a 20-yard run to a 50-yard run? You know what I'm saying? What are you looking for in that second and third level?
Angles.
Okay.
Angles from the safeties, especially. See how they're running at me. If I feel like I can beat them to the edge, I'll try that. If I feel like, okay, I need to make a cut fast as I can and get to the end zone.
Yeah. And is that something that just comes with reps, or?
More just naturally. That's kind of something you just kind of build playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you had an opportunity to put up some big-time numbers in high school, too. I mean, was that something where you could really see it on the tape of, okay, the next time I know this guy had one angle, I'm going to try to do something else?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like for your high school career? First of all, I mean, you were in the era of COVID and the pandemic, so where did that fall in your high school career?
That fell into my junior year, beginning of my junior year.
All right, so then you go through that, get into your senior year, still a little bit funky, but, I mean, how did that kind of impact just your ability to keep working, keep getting better on a day-to-day basis?
Well, it's the same because working out, I'd always work out with my dad.
Yeah.
And, when COVID hit, nothing really changed for me, so we would always just hit it. Some of the hardest workouts I've done were with him.
Okay.
He'll work out too. Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Yeah. But it's paying off now, certainly. Yeah. And how did that impact your recruiting then, too? I mean, because that makes it tough as well.
It kind of altered it a little bit. Some of the bigger schools I was talking to kind of shied away because they still had other people on their roster that they wanted to keep.
Right. Yeah, and it can make tough, but, you did end up finding a great spot here at Montana State. So when did Montana State first end up on your radar?
It was January, right after my season had ended.
Okay, yeah, and so it was right around when the Bobcats were down in Frisco for the championship game. So, had you heard of anything about Montana State? Was there anybody to kind of, tell you what it was like up here?
I heard of the football team because, obviously, they came down to Frisco that year.
Yep.
So I knew of Montana State, obviously. But everybody from Texas like, Montana, what's in Montana? I'm like, hey, man,
a football team.
Yeah, pretty much.
That wants me to come play for them.
Yep.
And then there's a handful of Texas guys here, too. Mm-hmm. Did you play against any of the current Texas guys while you were in high school?
I did not, no.
Okay, all right. But what was your high school career like in terms of crowds? I mean, what were some of the biggest crowds you played in front of in high school?
Biggest crowd I've probably played in front of was maybe 2,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
nothing too big.
Yeah, Drew Polidor told us last week he played for 10,000, 12,000.
He was at a bigger school than I was. For sure.
Yeah, it's cool to see. But you mentioned your dad a little bit. I want to talk about him. Sounds like he's been a really big part of your football career. Did he play football?
He did. Yes.
Okay. How far did he go?
He went into college. He played D3 at Gettysburg College.
So you've surpassed him so far.
I have.
All right. Good. You get to hold that over. That a little bit?
A little bit.
And I'm sure he comes back and says, yeah, you wouldn't be there, though, if it weren't for
Without me, yep.
Yeah, what were some of those workouts like? I mean, you said they were some of the toughest workouts. How did he help mold you as a football player?
He just always taught me because running back now, some people just look at it as speed. He was like, it's not just that. You have to have the vision, and that's what he really made sure that part of my game was really like set in stone. Yeah.
How do you develop a vision?
Practicing it, really. Just like kind of watching how other running backs play. Like my favorite running back to watch is Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Watch his vision, just watching his cuts, seeing what he sees, developing that, seeing it. It comes with a lot of practice.
Yeah, and can you see that from the camera angles that we get at home, like from the sideline, or are you watching a lot of that from like a camera angle behind the goalpost?
Camera behind the goalpost.
Yeah, okay,
sure, yeah.
Got to have that,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
got
for sure.
to.
Okay, and are you going to be as big of a media star as Marshawn Lynch someday? You going to have the same
sure
personality?
Hope so.
Okay, we'll get you on Bear Grylls eating Skittles in the backcountry.
Yep.
Okay, this is a great place to start doing some of that.
It is.
Have you gotten out into the mountains? Or?
Not a little bit, not much.
Okay,
a little bit of highlight. Nothing too major.
Yeah, just a little here or there.
Yeah.
Might as well since it's so close.
Yep.
But with the vision that you have, we've been able to see. How does that play with this offensive line? We got to talk about Justice Perkins a little bit earlier today, but tell me about what this offensive line does for you.
Well, in high school, we were a gap scheme team, and we are kind of more of a zone team here. So just running behind Justice and especially Omar.
Yeah.
It's
another Texas boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the vision. I don't have to see things as much running behind him because he'll just move people. And
yeah, he's like a bulldozer.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Tell us, break us down a little bit the zone versus the gap scheme. That's going to be something a lot of people don't totally understand. So give us the today I learned vibe on it.
Gap scheme, you're looking like you have kind of a set in stone hole that you have to hit. Zone, you're reading. One person goes one way, you go the other way.
Yeah. Okay. So it really puts a lot on the running back to have that high IQ and make that decision.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. It's fun to watch because it certainly worked for a lot of guys in that running back room.
It has.
Of the other running backs in your room, and I don't want to get you in trouble here, who would you least like to tackle?
Scottré Humphrey for sure.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure. He looks like the bowling ball, but it looks like I would classify him as the bowling ball and Justice as the like the bare knuckle boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I feel like Humphrey's just like he's going to hit you with your shoulder.
Yep.
And Julius Davis is going to hit you like with his hands and with his elbows.
I feel like if I were to tackle Scotty, you're going to feel the after effects for sure.
Yeah, like you're going to just be buzzing your whole body. So what's it like tackling you then? What do you do?
I like to say I'm more of elusive, but if I have to run you over, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, they're not going to tackle you.
Yeah.
Overall in your career too, you're at 57 carries right now. Do you know how many yards you have?
I do not.
Okay, good. That's a good thing. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you're at 537 yards and 57 carries. The running tally that RJ and I have up in the booth now. Can you get to 1,000 yards and 100 carries?
I think so.
Okay.
Me and my dad actually have a bet on that. If I get to 1,000 yards, he'll buy me a new TV.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Yeah, we'll take that. But it doesn't have to be just any 1,000 yards or 1,000-yard season.
1,000-yard season.
Okay, so 1,000-yard season gets you to that.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that. That's a pretty good gamble.
It is.
All right, well, here we go. We're getting ready to go for Sacramento State this weekend. Tell me some of the things you guys have to do to be successful and what their defense looks like.
Running downhill for sure. If our running back Coach Mix, he always says stretch and puncture. You got to be able to get out wide, then get vertical because you can beat them with speed. And once we do that, so it'll be a really good game for us.
All right, I'm looking forward to you. Looking forward to getting out and taking on these Hornets.
Yes, sir.
Battle of the Co-Big Sky champs.
Yes, sir.
All right, there's no hardware, but there's a lot of bragging rights on the line.
There is.
Yes, sir. All right, Jared White, appreciate the time and the insight. And hopefully this offensive line can help get you a new TV.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jared White, we're taking a break. When we get back, we get a chance to talk to John Johnson. You're listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
XL Country 100.7 KXLB Churchill, Bozeman, Belgrade. Also in Livingston on translator K254AL.
Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Shop in store at their North 7th Avenue location or online at shop.msubobcats.com for everything you need to cheer on your Bobcats. Universal Athletic, a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Go Cats!
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
What's in a name? For some, the meaning runs deeper than the word we see in front of us. There's a history to it. We are Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Montana, and the biggest part of our name will always be the smallest, of, because it's the of that connects us, which means we are of our communities, of a promise passed down for a healthier tomorrow. Through it all.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Montana, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across Montana, conducting research in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
For every peak, valley, and plateau, for every mishap and every adventure, for every Montanan in every season of life, Bozeman Health is here to deliver care with quality, compassion, and respect. Because we see you as more than the patient you are today. We look to what's on the horizon for you and our community over the decades to come. That's care beyond care. Well beyond. Bozeman Health.
Guys, it's buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings, and guess what?
You're gonna be a dad.
What? No, it's Boneless Thursdays, which means free boneless wings.
You'd be a great dad.
Okay, enough.
Buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday only at Buffalo Wild Wings. To the greatest of all times. Buy one boneless wings at regular price. Get one of equal value free at participating locations for a limited time. While supplies last. Limit one, not valid with other offers. Size exclusions may apply. Delivery and takeout available at participating locations through Buffalo Wild Wing website or app. Fees, including service fees, may apply.
Hello, tomorrow. We may not know exactly what you've got in store for us, for our routines and our normals. But here's the thing. Turns out, we've got this. We haven't seen everything, but we have seen ourselves be more ready for whatever you bring than we thought we would be. So when it comes to tomorrow, bring on the day. First Interstate, built for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Visit us at firstinterstate.com.
We are back at Buffalo Wild Wings for Cat Chat. I am Keegan Galogly, joined now by one of your newest cornerbacks, John Johnson. John, how we doing? How we feeling?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Happy to have you up on the show. How you settling in? Excited to have you here. Your first year as a Bobcat. What's it been like?
It's been great. Great atmosphere. Everything is just great. I kind of like it. Everything's calm. It's different for me.
Coming up from LA.
Yes.
Yeah, here, I'll have you move that mic up just a little bit there too. There you go, perfect. Yeah, definitely a different pace here than it is in LA.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What part of LA did you grow up in?
Los Angeles, like Gardena and Torrance area.
Okay. So, yeah, and that's kind of where you went to junior college, right?
Yes, sir.
El Camino Community College.
Yes, sir.
All right. So first time. I mean, how much out of LA did you get before you kind of came up here?
Not too much because I was mostly in the city.
Right.
So, but mostly home, kind of working out a lot. So.
Right. Yeah, you can find pretty much everything you want around there for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What was your El Camino Community College experience like? You know, why did you end up there? And what was that like? I'm sure a lot of people here don't totally understand what those California community colleges are like. So, what was your experience like at El Camino?
Coming out of high school, I didn't have too many offers. I had few little mess-ups in school, but
okay.
After that, I just went to JUCO, and it changed everything for me. I had to grow up faster and become a better man and better myself every day to get better and strive every day to reach that goal and get to where I am right now. So
yeah, how did that switch flip? Where did you find that internal motivation to step it up a level?
My brother did.
Okay. Older or younger?
He my older brother.
Okay.
So he kind of pushes me every day, even now. So because I kind of talk to him through every play that I went through today or the day before yesterday, and he just kind of pushes me every day to start to be better and fix everything.
Yeah. What's your brother's name?
Justin Johnson.
Justin Johnson. Was he a football player too?
Yes.
Okay.
He went to Fresno State.
Oh, okay. The Bulldog. Yeah.
Yes,
He's
sir.
over with one of our now guys, Brian Armstrong, the O-line coach over there. Cool. What position did he play?
Receiver.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he knows exactly what he doesn't like.
Yes. Yes. He kind of gives me the ins and outs and tips and how to play each release and how to receiver. So
yeah, that's cool. Do you guys have a lot of battles in the backyard then?
Yes. Yes. A whole lot of argument too.
Yeah. How much bigger is he? Bigger than you, or is he?
He's 6'2".
Oh, okay. So he's got
yeah.
an inch or two.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know how to go up against some of those bigger guys.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you kind of flick the switch, kind of figure out what you got to do to be successful, and once you've done that, you found some success there, and that's led you here to Montana State.
Yes,
when did Montana State first end up on your radar?
It ended up on my radar in mid-February, I want to say.
Okay.
And that's when it first all happened for me, and I knew something because I kind of prayed on it the night before, and I was asking God to just guide me the leeway to get to where I want to go, and he kind of did right there. And
Yeah.
I'm blessed to have the opportunity to play here.
Yeah, it's beautiful to hear. And so when did you get a chance to come out? Did you get a chance to come up and visit? I mean, what was the recruiting process like for you?
I came up here when it was snowing, and it was it was my first time. It kind of opened my eyes and everything. I had to change my whole outfit
Yeah.
to be warm, so I don't have to get cold or get sick or anything. So
Yeah. That's coming up. So we got to get you a few more layers here before that snow lands.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right.
sir.
Well, I know a couple of the other LA guys who have come up here. The first things they've always said were socks. Really good warm wool socks. That's
Yeah.
that's I think every single dad as well who lives in a winter wonderland.
Yes.
Socks and shoes
Yes.
are primo for that.
Yes.
Now there are a couple other LA guys here. There's a great kind of DB connection. A lot of guys who have come up. So a couple other guys who went to your same high school as well. Did you talk to any of those guys before you came up here?
I did not. I didn't have no contact with nobody up here before I came, but I knew one person, Lavelle Price.
Yep.
He plays nickel, so yeah, I played Pop Warner with him too.
Okay. And then did you stay much in touch with him after you played Pop Warner, or just kind of diverted?
Kind of diverted.
Yeah, for sure. But now you guys are back on the same team
Yes,
and
sir.
doing what he's doing.
Yes, sir.
What's he been like? I mean, from your perspective, walking into the defensive back area, obviously he's nickel, your corner, but still, when you show up, Lavelle Price, he's been a leader, a 6-year guy. He's a main cog of the defense. What's he like as a leader on that defense?
He's a great leader. He leads everybody. He's trying to help everybody into where you need to go, where you need to be at in each coverage. So that's
yeah. We can see it. We had him on this show too, and he's been talking about those same things.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's cool to see what he's doing. So a little different player now than when you guys were doing Pop Warner.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
then Tyrell Thomas is a guy who was here up until last year. Did you know him too?
I knew of him. I didn't know him. like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, for sure. And it's cool to see all those guys kind of come up here and do that.
Yes, sir.
All right. The other thing I want to ask you about too is, here we are. We're having a nice conversation on Hump Day on Wednesday. You seem casual. You seem relaxed.
Yes.
This is not the demeanor you have on the football field.
No, I don't. Not at all.
How would you describe yourself on the football field?
It's a whole different switch.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mean and I'm quiet.
Yeah.
But as soon as you talk to me, I'll get to talking right back to you, and it's not nice at all. So,
yeah.
But I kind of let my play do the talking. So
Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, we can see it. You could be 50, 60 rows up, and we can see your play doing the talking and getting loud and just that body language.
Yes, sir.
On game day, how do you flip that switch that you're locked and ready to go?
I don't know. It just happens, and I'm just ready for anything that comes my way, and that's how I'm taught.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
So just to fight everything and just be patient and let everything come to you. So
that's a hard balance to strike, letting it come to you, but also being that bulldog.
Yes.
Yeah. And you mentioned a little bit of trash talk. We can see it a little bit out there.
Yes,
Where'd you develop your trash talk? I mean, I don't know. What's it like?
I developed it with my little brother and older brother.
Yeah.
Started in the house, and we played like imaginary football.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Is it like one of those, what was that trend where guys were like walking and you have to like walk the route against each other? You like, do that kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Slow motion works too. I've done that with my brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So talking trash with them is how it's kind of let out onto the field?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you had to tone it down at all? Or, I mean, you be able to just kind of let it go and be free?
I kind of tone it down, but at the same time, it's still there because it still wants to come out.
Yeah.
But I just let my play do the talking, really. So.
Yeah, for sure. But when you are trash talking, how do you what do you pick up on? Do you pick up on what somebody is doing? What do you tell? Are you telling somebody I'm going to do this to you? Are you telling them you got nothing? What's your style?
I just really watch film and I tell them I know everything you're trying to do, so you can't do nothing. So
I know every move in your playbook.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So the film watching is what you're not only prepping what you need to do, but also prepping how you're going to talk to guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love to hear that.
Yes,
tell me a little bit about some more of your cornerbacks. We had Simeon Woodard on. Miles Jackson is a great leader on this team. But Andrew Powdrow, man, true freshman coming out doing what he's doing. Tell me about Andrew Powdrow.
Andrew's a dog. He has that fire in him, and he just wants to go. And it was one game against Stinson, he just made one big play, and he got really hyped. And it was just I was really happy for him. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive to see what he's been able to do out there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me about the other leaders in the room, Jackson and Woodard. How do they set the tone for you guys as cornerbacks?
Simeon is really a great leader. He sets the tone for everything. That's where I really try to back my game up off of and try to learn from him. And Miles, he's a great leader too as well, but he's kind of quiet, but he lets his play do the talking as well.
Yeah.
Same like me, but I really try to be up there with them guys every day and try to learn from them and try to not really copy what they do, but throw my own little flavor into the group. So
yeah, it's been a fun flavor to watch you get out there. You got your first interception already.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
What is that, 4 now for you? 3 in community college and 1 here, is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, the other thing I want to ask you about is that Portland State game, and one of the topics that we've talked about a lot is having that goldfish memory, that short-term memory.
Yes.
You may not understand where I'm going with this, but you had the pass interference kind of near the goal line.
Yeah.
The very next play, they came right after you over the middle, and you got a pass breakup.
Yes.
Tell me about the mindset, particularly in that moment.
When I got the pass interference, it was I felt like I didn't do nothing wrong, but at the same time, I had to let it go and just focus on the next play because I know they can come at me because they might feel like I'm in my emotions right now, but at the same time, I really wasn't. So I had to let them know I'm locked in still, and I just really want to make the next play on you. So
yeah. Do you have any mental cues? Do you say anything to yourself, or is it one of those things that's kind of easy to swipe away?
I kind of swipe it away, but at the same time, I just tell myself in my head, I can hear my mom say "Come on, John, you got this," and that's really what I hear in my head, and I just tell myself, "Come on."
That's beautiful. I love to hear that. Your mom come to have a chance to see you play a lot growing up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has
she
come
goes
out?
to most of my games.
Okay.
Yes.
Has she come out here yet?
Yes.
Oh, good,
yes.
good. What's she think of this whole atmosphere and what you're doing out here?
She loves it.
Yeah.
She loves it, and the crowd gets really loud, and she tells me how you feel out there, and I tell her every time I run out there, I get the chills, and every time I'm on the field, I have the chills. So it's I love it here.
Yeah. Your mom must be very proud.
Yes.
Now, that first Gold Rush game, right, you guys are all behind the big doors. You haven't come out yet. You haven't seen the Gold Rush crowd.
Yes.
Before that week 1, did anybody prepare you for what it was going to be like coming out of those doors?
They did, and they told me what it was like. But I really didn't believe it. I just wanted to see it by myself.
Yeah.
And when they opened the doors, it was just my eyes just got wide and it was big, and I just heard a whole lot of screaming, and it was just wow, this is
home.
I really made it.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing to be here.
Yeah, truly. It's that's special, man. It's fun. All right, so people told you, but you didn't totally believe them. I'm going to tell you something else, and maybe they've already told you. The Brawl of the Wild when you go over to Missoula is going to be just like that. It's unlike anything. I've only experienced one, but it is unlike any atmosphere you can find shy of 100,000 person crowd. So you got some more coming your way, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what people told me too.
All right, good. All right, finally, Sacramento State coming up. Big-time game, one of the best teams in the conference. Excited to get after them.
Yes, sir.
What are some of the things you have to do to be successful this weekend?
Just keeping my eyes on my man, really, and just stay focused on each task that I have and just execute it to my fullest and just go hard every single play and just really do what's best for the team and try to get the win.
No doubt. Can't wait to see it. But you've been executing so far, and we have no doubt you're going to continue to do it.
Thank you.
All right, John Johnson joining us today. Appreciate you, John. All right, we're taking a break. When we get back, we're getting ready for Week 8 for Montana State and Sac State. You're listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
Montana holds some of the greatest hunting in the country, and much of that occurs on private land. Access to private land is a key part of hunting and wildlife management, but that access is at risk with every gate left open, piece of litter left behind, or torn up ag field from someone driving where they weren't allowed. As hunters and guests in Montana, we must do better. Get familiar with Montana's block management program and follow the rules for every block management area you hunt, because we either do better or we'll lose access. It's that simple. It's up to us. Respect, protect the hunt.
From our 1946 roots providing lumber for Yellowstone National Park to our current headquarters in Bozeman, we at Simpkins Howland believe in building the Gallatin Valley's future while continuing to honor its past. Contractors large and small benefit from our decades of experience and our extensive network of suppliers. We can source the materials you need, no matter the project. For all your building needs, go to where long-standing traditions have met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins Howland, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice the meat and cheese for my sub is a sight to behold. The layers of ham, salami, and pepperoni are even more glorious than the pink and orange layers of a sunrise. Yeah, the sun's pretty and all that, but in about 7 billion years it's going to explode, obliterating the earth and every living thing on it. And if there's no sun, there's no subs. Meanwhile, the only thing a sub ever obliterated was my hunger. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Did you know that Southwest Montana has one of the highest per capita hot tub usage rates in the world? See what your friends and neighbors already know. How great it feels to soak under the big sky. Mountain Hot Tub has helped more friends and families relax in hot water than anyone in Montana. New hot tubs starting at less than $5,000. When you're ready to relieve stress and save money at the same time, come see us at the corner of Huffine and Gooch Hill. Mountain Hot Tub since 1979.
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
We are back one final time at Buffalo Wild Wings for Cat Chat. One more big round of applause for John and Jared. They got their Buffalo Wild Wings. Appreciate them coming out and chatting with us a little bit today. All right, Coach, it's time now to take a look ahead to the next ball game for Montana State, presented by Vance Thompson Vision, and it is a heck of a ball game coming up. So many different storylines, like top-line storylines to the two reigning co-Big Sky champions. These two teams are both 18-1 in the Big Sky going back to the start of 2021, and it's a number 2 versus number 3 matchup. All that is fun for us to talk about, but for you guys, this is one of those things you got to just kind of stay focused. But have you had to temper some of the emotion going into this week at all?
I don't think so. Our approach, and you talk about it each week, and it's not just lip service, is to be in that one game at a time mode. All the games, they're going to all count the same. The level of your opponent can't dictate how hard you try, how much work you put in. But we realize, you start stacking up these wins, the magnitude, I suppose, increases each week. But I think there's a real excitement about this opportunity, having not played in the last few years, the success that they've had, a lot of respect for their program, even though we haven't met them on the field. We don't have but a couple guys that were a part of that game back in 19 that was here in Bobcat Stadium. So I'm really excited about the opportunity. Our guys are ready to go.
Last year they had a very strong defense, although they also had some really big, high-scoring games, including their quarterfinal loss against Incarnate Word in the playoffs. Both teams going over 60 points. Played a lot of close games like that. Marte Mapu was a third-round pick, their linebacker last year. He's now starting for the New England Patriots. So how have they retooled, and what are some of the schemes they're running on that defensive side?
Yeah, Coach Thompson was and still is the defensive coordinator. Became the head coach, so very similar. I know they were able to use Marte in all kinds of different ways. They maybe don't have that unique of player, but very, very sound, very good up front. They go in between a 4-down front and an odd front, a 3-man front. Typically like to keep the ball in front of them, and then they tackle well. They have good team speed, all those things. So it's a defense that has had a lot of success. I saw something today where 7 of their last 8 conference games have been one-score games.
Wow.
And they've only lost that one at Idaho. So they find a way to win, and that's a large part because of their defense.
We haven't seen you guys in a close game situation here really since the South Dakota State game. Some, but not really down to the wire here too recently. So what are some of the things when you do get into those close games that are really important to keep in mind and make sure your guys are ready when it does come down and the game is hanging in the balance?
Just remain calm and don't panic. Stay within the plan. Trust your teammates. All those things that get you out of those leads that we maybe have are what's going to get you through at the end of a game. One person can't try to do too much. I think that happens all too much in sports, anyways. And in football, that's a real detrimental deal. So, remain within the plan. Keep playing hard. Those fourth quarter, how that conditioning, ends up. Separating things is such a big deal, and we feel our guys are as strong in condition as anyone that we face.
We talked a little bit about their quarterback and their running back of the TV show. We didn't talk a ton about their pass catchers. Marshall Martin is an All-American tight end. Devin Gandy is a great receiver. Carlos Hill, number 0, he made an incredible catch against Northern Colorado, for a touchdown. Tell me a little bit about their guys who can receive the ball and catch the football for them.
Yeah, they're really spreading the ball out a little bit more. 3 receivers, 2 tight ends, are all targets. They like to throw their backs at times as well. They were really lopsided to a couple guys in their passing game last year. So, they don't allow you to pay too much attention to one particular guy. So you got to defend the field. Again, our mindset of keeping the ball in front of us. Guys like John. If we do get man-to-man situations, which we've done really well, they gotta answer the bell in those scenarios, and hopefully we can put enough pressure to make it complicated for Bennett.
All right, well, here we go. You guys going to have to change the plan too much for a 7:30 kickoff on Saturday?
Well, this is our 5th night game. Our 3rd night game on the road, so it's a little bit later than we've been, but not too much. Our guys kind of know the routine, especially on the road, past the time. Watch a little football, get in your mindset once we're at pregame meal, go out there and get ready to play a game.
All right, well, the routine has been winning football games, so hopefully that routine continues on Saturday. All right, Coach, appreciate the time and the insight today.
Yeah, always.
All right, thank you to Coach Vigen for joining us today. John Johnson and Jared White joining us as well. We'll talk to you again at 7:30 Mountain Time, 8:30 for the kickoff between the Bobcats and the Hornets. Until then, this is Keaton Galogly saying so long and go Cats. This has been Cat Chat presented by Learfield.
You've been listening